views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV. Welcome to the best of Nevada business.
Small business,
big business,
And
family-owned business.
it's all right here on the best of Nevada business.
Hi, and welcome to the Best of Nevada Business. I'm Beth Toy, your host of this show. And hey, Nevada, the silver state with golden opportunities. Why would you want to do business anywhere else? This is a great state. And today, I have one of the most interesting couples in Las Vegas. Yes, you heard it right. Yvette and Eric Auger.
Hello.
I'm so happy you've joined us. I can't wait for you to hear everything that they've done, a little bit of personal history. So first I want to tell you, Yvette had Cosmopolitan Connections, and I'm sure a lot of you out there were familiar. What was that, about 7 years?
I had that for 9 years, every single week. And I believe you were there almost every week there, so thank you so much.
It. Thank you for having that all those years. It really was wonderful. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't you meet Eric there?
I did. I met my husband Eric at one of my events. We were having bikini models showcase that day, and he came to see those, and then he met me, and he promised me he never looked at the bikini models again.
Yeah. I stick to my story.
Well, see, that was worth it all right there. Just meeting this wonderful man.
It definitely was. You know, during the course of 9 years, we had 3 Cosmopolitan Connections marriages and 3 Cosmo babies.
Wow.
Including our very own Eugenie Auger, who is 3. Can you say hello?
Hello. And when we didn't introduce Muppet.
And this is our dog Muppet, yeah.
Well, I tell you, there's just so many things for you to tell people. I could have you back 3 times on this show. What would you like them to know personally, and what would you like them to know about your business? Who wants to start?
Well, just to say that I really enjoyed doing Cosmopolitan Connections over all those years and helping so many people, you know, find employment, the love of their life, and just for social.
Yeah.
I've now transitioned into full-time real estate because my husband has been doing it for 18 years, Eric Auger, and he is a master at it, a master negotiator. And so I'm following in his footsteps, and he's teaching me a lot about the real estate career, and I have my license, and we already have a lot of clients together, so we're very excited.
Yes.
Now, I believe you said to me you work mostly on referral.
Yeah, Eric will tell you more about it, but
Okay.
90% of our business comes from referral only.
Okay, well, Eric, let's tell the people all about real estate and what makes you different from all the other zillion real estate
realtors.
And listen, forgive me, I'm sorry I kind of lost my voice a little yesterday, but I'll do my best here.
That's
So
okay.
let's hear what you have to say.
Well, there are 2 big aspects to our business that really sets us apart from the crowds. On one side, we have our referral-based business. On the other side, we have what we call the signature approach to sell homes, which is a new approach to sell homes that we've created. So,
Interesting.
I'll start with referrals.
Okay, please do.
So-
Tell them all about it.
18 years in the business, and we've been running our business by referral for, I've been running it for the past 17 years, almost exclusively by referral, and this is what Yvette is learning from me. The reason we do that is there's a couple of reasons. Number one is if you look at the real estate community as a whole, real estate agents spend about 80% of their time prospecting for new business. They do such things such as cold calling, door knocking. They'll order large pizzas at night, and they'll canvass entire neighborhoods, sending flyers, you name it. And that leaves them with about 20% of their time to serve all their clients. So if they have 1 client, they can get by with it. If they have 2 or 3, it's impossible to do a good job.
That's very true. And I'll tell you, to all the real estate agents out there, when I get just cold real estate things in my mail, on my door, I dump them. I really don't pay attention to that. You need a personal real estate person. You really do.
All that marketing has become noise over time because people are inundated with it. It's like it's almost every day.
It's true.
Right?
And the difference is that we personally are friends with all of our clients.
Yeah.
And we do send personal notes. Like I've sent you personal notes,
you
Beth,
have.
and I'm sure you enjoy getting those in the mail. It brightens your day.
I
Yeah.
do, and you've even called me just unexpectedly. I'm like, you called to invite me to something.
Yes.
And how many people call you to invite you anymore? I mean, in the 60s, the 50s, the 70s, back then, everybody called you. Nobody calls you now. No one has that personal touch like these two do.
That's right.
It's always an email, a text. And I want to thank you for that because that
because
was so nice. I looked at my phone, oh my God, Yvette's calling.
Yeah, I
It was
just
nice.
always want to catch up with you, see how you're doing. If you need anything at all from me, I'm here for you.
Thanks, honey. Thank you.
So that's the philosophy, and that's how we put it in practice. And then the idea is because we run our business almost exclusively by referral, we don't have to prospect like for new business like other agents. So we basically flip the table, and we have 80% of their time to service our clients and deliver world-class service, earn their trust and respect. And the only thing that we ask in return is, as they come across people they care about and who need our help, that they let us know, because it helps us help everybody. Does that make sense?
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, and the second aspect too is, I believe that business can be fun and should be fun. And then if we work with great people and they introduce us to their friends, chances are they're going to be great people as well. And so it makes the job a lot more enjoyable for us. That's kind of like the selfish reason behind it. But what we found is that the majority of agents, they prospect, close a deal, and then they disappear. Then the clients never hear from them ever again after.
That is so true.
And so, and so what happens is that, while that person is buying or selling a home, these agents are in contact with their clients, I'd say probably every other day. They build a relationship, and the moment they get their commission check, they say goodbye. And they kill that relationship. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So what does I tell the client? It was all about the paycheck.
That's right.
Which, I mean, obviously we need a check.
It's business. We know that. We know it's business. It's not.
We need money. I like to have food with my meals, of course. But, the relationship that we build with our client far outlasts the paycheck. The paycheck is going to be spent.
And that's nice.
Yeah,
and you know what? You don't find that everywhere. As everybody out there knows, this is really special.
Yeah.
You're both very special.
Well, thank you. We love it. And so, the relationship, far outlasts. I'm still in contact with my very first client to whom I sold a home 18 years ago.
Isn't that amazing?
And so we call in, and it's not that we want anything, but we call in just to check in, see how they're doing, what's going on with them. As we always offer our service, say, look, if you need a contractor, a tradesperson, a referral to, I don't know, like a Spanish teacher or a dog groomer, let us know. We have a huge Rolodex of people that we've created over time with Cosmopolitan Connection. And if you need somebody, let us know. We'll hook you up with somebody who's going to take good care of us, somebody we know. This way you don't have to go to the yellow pages and talk to a complete stranger who may or may not be good. And so that's, the principle is we want to be of value long after the transaction closes, because that's how, the trust and respect from our clients is our biggest asset. And we want to cultivate this. We want to grow it. We want to be part of the community and, at the same time, get compensated when we help people buy or sell houses.
That's true. And, I'm sure there's people out there that are thinking, well, how would you have time to just call everybody? But you know what? The thing is that I'm realizing it's not that you're just calling your clients. You've become friends with them. And we all have time for our friends. We all do.
Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful way to do business. Just become friends with people. I mean, that's kind of the secret.
Caring about the person, that's something that's becoming more and more difficult to find, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, we have our client appreciation program. We send valuable real estate information every month. We stay in contact with our clients. And for our best clients, those who have, worked with us repeatedly, sent us multiple referrals, every quarter, we have a dinner that we organize. We invite them. It's all paid for. And we just spend 2-3 hours, having margaritas and eating tacos and just having a good time talking about anything other than real estate.
Isn't that
so
nice? You guys are amazing.
People love it.
Lovely.
The next event, actually, I found a cartoonist, some person who draws caricatures of people. We'll have him come to the dinner, and I think that will make it even more fun.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. There's so many little, I know when you had the Cosmopolitan Connections, there were so many just little touches that you put into that group that, just hats or you always went the extra mile with that. And I can see that carries over to your real estate business. You just go the extra mile.
People like to work with people they know, love, and trust. So
Exactly.
Absolutely,
we
yeah.
love to earn people's
Exactly.
trust.
Exactly, and how are you feeling about getting into, it had to be kind of bittersweet leaving
Yeah.
Cosmopolitan Connections behind, but I know how much work that was. I don't know if
Yeah.
everyone realized,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it was a tremendous amount of work for
Yeah,
you.
it was a lot of work because we had the best venues in town. We
You
had
did?
all the 5-star hotel venues. So,
You did?
And we never missed a week, even when I was pregnant, when I was in the hospital.
I
with having
remember
Eugenie.
before she was here,
Yeah.
that's when I was first coming around. And but even through all that, you did a beautiful job.
Thank you so
really
much.
did. I don't suppose you're ever going to get back to that again.
Well, networking is extremely important in Las Vegas, so
Yeah.
we're always going to be out at networking events.
Yeah.
But now I get to serve people in a different way.
See, and now you can enjoy it more than worrying about everything.
Yes.
So how do you like now doing real estate with Eric? What has that changed your life?
Oh, it's
to
changed
be.
my life because he's so good at real estate and he is a master negotiator. Oh my goodness, that's his strong suit. And I'm very good at customer relations, so we're a great team.
What a great team. You know, it is so nice to see a husband and wife do a business together and both love it and both enjoy it. That's wonderful for both of you.
Thank
It's
you.
a lot of fun, yeah.
Yeah.
I really do. What else would you like our viewers to know?
Well, another
about-
aspect of what we do, so that was, kind of like the philosophy of the business, which is really the foundation for everything. And then there is the actual production and the skills. And, over the 18 years in business, I have noticed that the traditional method of selling homes is flawed. And what I mean by that is that homes spend more time on the market than they should be. A lot of
yes.
homes hit the market, they are not ready to be marketed. A lot of homes hit the market price too high, and the consequence of all that, when you add it all up, is that homes sit on the market longer than they should. And according to a statistics that was done by Zillow in 2016, homes that sold within after 60 days on the market sell for 5% less than those that sell almost immediately. If you go to 90 days, we go down to 8%, and if you go like over 180 days, it's 12%. So do the math. If you have a $500,000 home, $500,000, and it sells for 5% less than what it should, you're losing $25,000.
Yeah.
That's a big
You're
chunk
right.
of money.
You're right.
So that's the first problem with the method. And the second problem is that there's a lot of consequences to that and things that most agents don't see. And that's the conversations that happen at home after that. When a house sits on the market and there is no showings or very few showings, the tension starts building up at home. And friendly conversation could turn into not so friendly conversation. We could see some finger pointing happening. People are disappointed. People who may miss the house of their dream because their primary home wasn't sold, so they couldn't buy the other one. I mean, there's a lot of consequences that spills over in all areas of their life. You got, when a house is on the market, these people's life is upside down. They have to keep the house clean all the time. They have to leave the house when there is a showing. I mean, they're not living their normal life. Right,
true,
and that takes
true,
a toll
true.
on those families or these people, whoever they may be. So that's why we created the signature approach to sell homes. And in our opinion, there is a way, and we've proven it, for a home to sell quickly, for the maximum possible price, without wasting any money, which is a big one, and the biggest one, with no stress at all. Okay, and the way we've done that is we've taken the whole process of selling homes and we've flipped it upside down. So oftentimes, when we take a new listing, it'll take probably 2-3 weeks before it hits the market. Why? It's not because we're trying to sell it ourselves like some agents do.
Yeah.
It's because we take the time to prepare the house. Number one is when you look at sales, in the neighborhood, there is always that one house that's sold for more than the others, right? What most agents do is they calculate the average across 4 or 5. Why use the average when we know it is possible to get more? That one house that sold more proves it, right?
Right,
So that
right.
house, we look for that benchmark. Once we have that benchmark, we look at what they've done, and we prepare the house for sale. So it goes from, we do a pre-inspection, making sure that we fix everything that needs to be addressed for a couple of reasons. Number one is, if it is obvious that the house hasn't been maintained, it changes the psychology of the buyer when he goes through the house. Instead of falling in love with the house, that buyer notices those little things, and starts looking for problems. Well, guess what happens if a buyer starts looking for problems? The house is not selling.
That's true. That's true.
The second thing is that, once the house is under contract, the buyer is going to do a home inspection, and the home inspection is going to have a certain number of items listed for repairs, and the buyer is going to use that as leverage to lower the price. Here's what happens is that if an item costs $500 to repair, the buyer is going to say, well, it's going to cost me $1,000. Fair enough, right?
There you go.
That's what buyers do.
Yes.
And so we want to eliminate that. That's why we repair everything up front.
Then
we bring our professional home stager. And we're not, a lot of agents say they'll do staging, but they do staging themselves. It's like Sundays, weekend stagers.
And they need a professional. They need a professional to do that.
Exactly. We use the stager that's used by most home builders here in town. So we've really went to the top, and we prepare that house to showcase it in a way that's going to create an attractive environment where buyers are going to want to stay. See, most buying decisions are made emotionally. It's not rational. Buyers always know whether or not this is going to be their home within the first 30 seconds they walk in it. And the 15 minutes after that is just to confirm.
That's true.
Isn't it true?
That is really true.
I've seen it happen.
And I tell you, I think it's lovely to stage a house, but for me, if I'm looking for a house, whether it's staged or not, you are right. When you know in your mind what you're looking for, what space you're looking for, how many bedrooms, you know the layout. I know I moved here in 1999, and I was looking at new homes because, there was such a building boom back then. But I could walk in and out of a house in 2 or 3 minutes, and it's not right. It's not right. It doesn't feel like home. And when I walked into the house I'm living in now, I just stopped. I went, this is it.
I know.
This is it.
It's crazy. It's like it takes 30 seconds. People know right away.
They do.
And we want to capitalize on that. We want to create that emotional attachment to the house almost immediately. That's why staging is so important.
That's right. But let me ask you an interesting question. I want to know your views on this because I recently, well, not recently, last year, sold a house that we had had for quite a while. And what I noticed is every real estate company calls you and wants to list it, but once it's listed, it's not like they only want to be the listing agent. They don't want to, bring people unless it's their listing. And I think that's like so crazy because you're going to make money whether you're the buying agent or the selling agent.
Yes.
And I want you to address that to our viewers because I came across so many rude kind of agents that,
Okay.
if I'm not the listing agent, I'm not giving you the time of day. I'm like, but you have to have buyers. So if you could address that with our viewers, I would appreciate it.
I'll lift the curtain on that, and you're going to be shocked.
Okay.
There is a coaching organization. The headquarters is here in Las Vegas, and that caters to real estate agent, and it teaches them a very specific way of doing business. They are extremely popular, and it's all based on cold calling. And so,
and that can be irritating. Do you find that out there when you get all this cold calling? It can be irritating.
Yeah. And so here's the funny story: is that I've seen, and so that company coaches, I would say probably about 80% of the agents who do cold callings, and they give them scripts to follow, right? And so every morning they go into the office and they get the list of what's called the expired listings. Those are the homes that haven't sold because they weren't prepared, they were overpriced, the homes we were talking about earlier.
I know exactly what you're saying because when we were selling this home, what happened was the agent suggested we take it off the market for a little bit, reprice it and put it back on. The minute that came off the market, oh my God, it was like the floodgates opened.
Very irritating.
It wasn't nice.
And to my opinion, it gives us a bad name because once you go through that once, you're like, the next time you see a realtor, you're gonna remember that moment. What happened?
Because they taught us to refresh the listing. Well, I listened. I don't know if that was right or wrong, but I did it, and it was just like unbelievable amount of calls.
Exactly.
I can't even tell you.
It's insane. And so here's the funny, well, it's not so funny, is that they have all the same script. They all get in the same room in the morning. They all have the same list of phone numbers. They all call the same people saying the exact same thing. They don't even realize that those 20 people in the rooms are calling the same people saying the exact same thing. So when you're you get the first phone call, you're like, I'm not interested. The second one, so by the time you get to the fifth one, you're irritated. You just don't want to talk to a real estate agent for the rest of your life, right?
You know what, I hate to tell you, it got to the point, I just kind of wanted to play with them, you know, and I can't remember what I would say, but I just say, you know, like, well,
Yep.
blah, 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 blah. And I knew I wasn't going to use them, but you stop having the courtesy of just saying, no, we just took it off the market. I'm using the same agent.
Yeah.
We're just refreshing the listing, you know. And I mean, I didn't string anybody along, but I can't remember what I would say. But I just say, listen, you know, we've got our agent. Why can't you be the buying agent? And
Yep.
but it was not a good experience.
And here's the shocker is that for the vast majority of those agents who make those phone calls are brand new agents. That's how they are taught to start in the business.
And I'm glad that you're saying this because there may be some new agents out there listening to you and saying,
Oh.
you know, Eric knows.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's that is the reason why you're getting all those phone calls. You know, in my opinion, those agents, I mean, they're trying to make a living. I'm not blaming them. You know,
I
I
understand
respect
that.
they're working and they're doing what they're told to do, but they might as well just work in a call center and just do, you know, call center work. In my opinion.
You know what? I'm thinking back while you're talking at this nightmare we went through, and I remember one agent calling me and just saying, well, your house came off the market. When are you ready to get the right agent?
That's
I
the
said-
script. That's
I
the
said,
script,
you know
word
what?
for word.
I said, first of all, don't talk to me like that. And second of all, because of the way you've just spoken to me, I already know you're not the right agent, and I hung up on him.
Yeah, and so and that's where the
Don't be rude, you know.
Yeah, and that's where the signature approach to sell home came into play. Is that, you know, when you use that method, we know our clients will never have to go through that because the house will sell, it will not stay on the market. We know that it's going to sell, the listing is not going to expire, and so we much, you know, we prefer to raise the standard, do a much better job, take our time to put the house on the market. But when we put on the market, we know that it's ready, we know who it's going to cater to, and we know almost, I'd say, how quickly it will sell. And it's all about, because we invest in proper preparation and we coach our clients on on avoiding the fundamental mistakes that I would say 90% of the home sellers make that cause their home not to sell.
Well, this has been really, really informative. Is there anything else that the two of you want to make sure that any future clients or anyone thinking about buying or selling, what would you like them to know from either one of you that's like one of the most important things for you to tell them about your business?
How
If
to
you
get
haven't-
hold of us.
You know what?
That would help.
And
ahead.
we are going to put this up on the screen
I'll just
after,
do
but
your info.
I'd like you to give all your information.
Right.
Your
Well, yeah, the best way to get a hold of us is by phone or text,
Okay.
702-813-2661. That's my number. Or if you prefer Yvette, it's 702-328-4503. So those are the two numbers.
Okay. And what about a website?
Website, it would be thesignatureapproach.com. So the signature approach.
TheSignatureApproach.com,
.com.
not just signature,
TheSignatureApproach.com.
Any other
Yeah,
sites, information, anything else?
Yes, actually, we have an exciting project. Is we are building case studies, you know, to document the effectiveness of that signature approach.
Really?
And so we're looking for, you know, 2 or 3 home sellers who would be willing to be on cameras, and we want to document the entire process from the day we
That's
meet with them
amazing.
to the initial conversation, to the meeting with the stager and the preparation of the house and the first open house and so on. We want to document everything on camera and have a documentary on how the method works. So if any of you want to participate and get the additional exposure for your house, let us know. We're looking for 3 case studies.
3 agents or 3 homes?
Three home sellers.
3 home sellers.
Once we have the 3, we're done. But you know, we're looking for 3 of them right now.
Well, that's great. Well, anyone out there that is considering selling their home, I don't think you could do better than Yvette and Eric.
thank you.
I
Thank you,
think this
Beth.
is.
Thank you.
I really, I'm so happy that you're doing this together now.
Yes.
And although we do miss
Yes.
your networking group.
I know, I miss you guys
we
terribly.
all miss it terribly,
Yes.
but
Yes, we do.
I can see you're both moving into such a positive direction and,
thank you.
and such a wonderful business and such a caring business.
Yeah,
You
we're
know?
trying to leave a good legacy for our kids. You know, if they want to go into real estate, teaching them the fundamentals of how to be a good person.
And
selling
then
real
as you
estate.
can all see, everywhere you see, not everywhere, but you see Yvette and Eric, you're going to see
Eugenie.
You're going well, not always Muppet. Muppet didn't come to the Cosmopolitan Connections.
Brought the executive
But
assistants
they
with
are
us.
very, very family oriented,
Yes.
and
Yeah. Yeah, and we do believe actually that the values, that create strong families are the same values that create strong businesses.
and you know what? That's a beautiful statement. That really is.
Yeah, you can't.
And it's so true because that's what it's all about. You
Yes.
know, building families, selling homes, having a nice home to raise your family in. That's what we all want.
Yes.
A nice place to raise our family or a nice place to just enjoy retirement. You know, once the family's moved on and they're getting their own homes from Yvette and Eric.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I have so enjoyed having you on the Best in Nevada Business,
thank
and
you.
I hope you can come back again
Anytime.
and visit us. And I just thank you for coming, and I'm still keeping my fingers crossed. You might do another networking someday.
Oh yeah, we're going to do some client appreciation events for our real estate clients, friends, and family. So you'll definitely be invited.
Great. Okay. Well, tell your phone numbers again, just so they have them.
Okay, so Yvette is 702-328-4503, and mine is 702-813-2661.
Okay, and thank you so much for joining us on the Best in Nevada Business. Stop by and see us again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.